Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Monday, April 3, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. New York Mets vs Milwaukee Brewers. The Mets are confident after a series win in Miami. They limited the Marlins' offense to only 8 runs in the 4 games. Mets starter Carlos Carrasco is getting up there in age, but is still a solid pitcher. The veteran right-hander has contained the Brewers throughout his career, posting a 3.60 ERA in 5 starts. Furthermore, Brewers starter Freddie Peralta usually takes a while to find a groove, as evidenced by his subpar 4.38 career ERA in April. The right-hander recorded a 5.00 ERA in 18 innings last April. Also, Peralta had trouble when pitching at home last year, going 3-4 with a 4.34 ERA. I will gladly take the Mets. As mentioned previously, Milwaukee is scoring an average of only 1.50 runs per game, while New York is scoring an average of just 4.00 runs per game. Milwaukee is batting only .164 and has just 1 extra base hit through 3 games. New York has the 9th best team ERA at 2.42. The total has finished under in 13 of Milwaukee's last 16 games and in 6 of the last 7 games that Milwaukee has played on grass. Our total pick is under. San Francisco Giants vs Chicago White Sox. The White Sox swept their lone 2022 series with the Giants in July at Oracle Park. Chicago put an exclamation point on their sweep by blowing out San Francisco 13-4 in the final game on July 3. The White Sox split their 4-game road series with the Houston Astros, 2-2 second and AL West, to start the season. Right-hander Mike Clevinger, 1-0, pitched 5 scoreless innings while striking out 8, and the White Sox went on to beat Houston 6-3 on Sunday. Chicago was leading 6-1 in the bottom of the 9th and held off a comeback bid by the Astros to secure the victory. Luis Robert Jr. and Yoan Moncada each launched home runs for Chicago, and 9 of the White Sox' 13 hits were for extra bases. Righty Luis Garcia gave up 3 runs on 7 hits in 5 innings of work. First baseman Jose Abreu went 2-4 with an RBI for Houston. Lucas Giolito limited the Giants to just 3 hits over 6 innings and struck out 7 to earn the win, and outfielder Jock Peterson went 2-4 with a double and an RBI to help lead the White Sox to victory. In the 5 games played between these two teams at Guaranteed Rate Field dating back to 2014, the White Sox have won all but 1. The White Sox dominated the Giants during that period, winning 11 times in 13 chances. Kopech's ERA was over a point less at Guaranteed Rate Park than it was on the road in 2022, 3.01 at home versus 4.26 on the road, and had a solid whip of .98, with 4.85 hits per 9 innings at home. The Giants have lost 2 of their first 3 games of the season, including a 6-0 shutout at the hands of the New York Yankees, 2-1 second and AL East on Sunday afternoon. San Francisco starting pitcher Ross Stripling allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings of work and gave up 3 home runs to Yankees batters Aaron Judge, Kyle Higashioka, and Giancarlo Stanton. The Giants could only muster 2 hits against right-handed pitcher Jhony Brito, who was making his major league debut for New York. 4 Yankees pitchers combined for a 3-hit 12-strikeout performance. The Giants had no extra base hits on the afternoon. The Giants had difficulty winning consistently on the road last season, finishing with a 37-44 record. They hit a meager .229 away from their home stadium in 2022. They have had similar results in their first series of 2023, getting shut out by the Yankees in 2 of 3 games at Yankee Stadium. Most signs and trends point to a White Sox victory on Monday. Take Chicago giving up a run and a half. The White Sox struggled to get hits and score runs in the first month of the 2022 season, ranking near the bottom of each category in the MLB. They batted only .212 in April, with a .264 OBP and .348 slugging percentage. They are currently ranked 21st in the league in average runs per game, 3.33. The Giants hit lefties better than righties, .234 average versus .237 average, and ranked towards the bottom of the league in several key offense categories during the 2022 season, .234 average, 23rd, 7.78 hit per game, 24th, and runners left on base 14.43, 26th. They made no major moves in the offseason to offset these issues, and Kopech pitched very well in his home stadium last year, 3.01 ERA, .98 whip, 37 hits in 68.2 innings, so Giants could have difficulty getting to the righty for a significant number of runs. San Francisco hit .240 overall in April last season, with a .3140 BP and .388 slugging percentage. The Giants were held scoreless in 2 of their first 3 games of the season. In some other signs, this game will be on the lower scoring side. The White Sox scored fewer average runs per game at home, 4.09, than on the road, 4.38, during 2022 season, and ranked towards the bottom of MLB in home runs per at-bat, 0.92, 22nd. While the offseason signing of Andrew Benintendi may improve their offense and overall team performance, he is not a classic power hitter and is not expected to boost their run total significantly. Look for this game to go under the point total. Chicago Cubs vs Cincinnati Reds. Cincinnati has the 19th best team batting average at .222 and improves to 15th in on-base percentage at .319 and 9th in slugging percentage with .476. The Reds have scored 10 runs for an average of 5.00 runs per game. Jake Fraley is batting .500, which leads all players on the Reds, and the left fielder also has the most RBI with 3. Kevin Newman and 3 other players for Cincinnati have each hit 1 home run. Cincinnati has 2 doubles, 1 triple and 4 home runs through the first 2 games of the regular season. Although Cincinnati has only the 13th best ERA in baseball at 3.50, Reds are holding opponents to a batting average of .203. Cincinnati gave up 5 runs in its season opener to Pittsburgh, but bounced back in the second game of the season on Saturday, allowing just 2 runs, and will have Connor Overton on the hill, who last season had a solid 2.73 ERA, although he appeared in only 5 games. In 2 games last season versus Pittsburgh, Overton gave up 2 runs on 9 hits across 11 innings, and the Reds were victorious in both games. Cincinnati has a team ERA of 3.50, which is 13th, while the Reds have the 14th best whip at 1.33 and hold opposing hitters to an average of .203, which is 8th best. Nick Lodolo is the leader in strikeouts for Cincinnati with 9. Connor Overton gets the nod on the mound Monday for Cincinnati. In 2022, the right-hander was 1-0 with an ERA of 2.73 and 14 strikeouts. Chicago is off to a solid start on the mound, but the Cubs are struggling at the plate. Chicago is 26th or worse in on-base percentage, slugging percentage and team batting average. Our team pick is Cincinnati Reds. As mentioned previously, Chicago has started the season with the 3rd best team ERA in baseball at 1.50 and holds opponents to a .164 batting average, which is 2nd best. In Chicago's 2 games this season, a total of 8 runs have been scored for an average of 4.00 runs per game, with both games finishing under. The total has finished under in 14 of Cincinnati's last 20 games, and in 8 of Cincinnati's last 11 played at home. Our total pick is under the total. Minnesota Twins vs Miami Marlins. The Twins struggled with the bat in April last season, hitting just .227 with 23 home runs and a .312 OBP. Despite their hitting woes, they did manage a winning record, going 12-9 overall, but were under .500 on the road, 4-5. The Twins had difficulty winning on the road in 2022, compiling a 32-49 record away from their home stadium. They hit .255 at home with a .413 slugging percentage, but dropped to a .248 average with a .401 slugging percentage when playing away from Target Field. The Twins had trouble with their offense during April last season, hitting just .227 with 23 home runs and a .312 OBP. They have started out 2023 hot, sweeping the Royals in the first series of the new season, but those 3 games were played at their home stadium. The Twins completed the sweep of the Kansas City Royals, 0-3, 4th in AL Central, at home on Sunday, by beating them 7-4. Newly acquired outfielder Joey Gallo blasted 2 home runs, and right-handed pitcher Joe Ryan gave up 1 run and struck out 6 in 6 innings of work. Left fielder Trevor Larnach also contributed by going 3-4 with a run and an RBI. Royals starter Brad Keller went 4.2 innings and walked 4 and gave up 2 earned runs. Kansas City middle relievers allowed 5 earned runs after Keller was removed. Outfielder Edward Olivares and third baseman Matt Duffy went deep for the Royals in the loss. Adding to Minnesota's challenges, Miami's Cueto has pitched very well against Minnesota in the past. He has won 5 of 6 games versus the Twins' lifetime, with a solid 2.26 ERA. As a member of the White Sox last season, he faced them 4 times and allowed 11 earned runs in 24.2 innings. Maile is 0-3 lifetime versus the Marlins, but has not faced them since the 2021 season. The Marlins won 60% of their games overall in April last season and were 6-3 at home. Look for Cueto to continue his success versus the Twins and for Miami to win at home. Our team pick is Marlins plus 1.5 runs. Both teams struggled to hit at the beginning of last season, and the Twins escaped the month with a meager .227 batting average. Minnesota averaged 3.44 runs in the first month of 2022 and needed some time to get to their eventual 4.36 runs per game average for the year. They scored 2 runs in 2 of the first 3 games of 2023. Miami hit .235 in April last season, with a .235 OBP and a .375 slugging percentage, and they have scored 3 runs or less in each of their first 4 games this season. The Marlins averaged 3.62 runs per game in 2002 and ranked near the bottom of the league in several key offensive categories, including batting average, .230, second to last, and slugging percentage, .362, third to last. Both pitchers have limited their opponent to few runs in this game, with Cueto owning a 2.26 lifetime ERA versus the Twins. Miami did not make any significant moves in the offseason to shore up their offense. With both teams' historical struggles in the early part of the season and the Marlins' inability to score runs consistently, look for this to be a lower scoring affair. Take the under 7.5 runs. Toronto Blue Jays vs Kansas City Royals. After getting blanked for the first 19.2 innings of the season, the Royals finally got a run on the board Sunday afternoon. With that said, 1 run in the first 2+ games of the year doesn't inspire a ton of confidence in what Kansas City can do at the dish. While Toronto was limited in Saturday's game, some of that was due to the wildness of Jack Flaherty for the Cardinals. We saw the Blue Jays hang a 10th spot in the opener Thursday, and they had tallied 3 runs in the early stages of Sunday's contest, so their lineup is more than capable of putting up solid numbers. Given the difference in what we've seen from the teams at the plate, look for Toronto to earn the road win in this contest. Our team pick is Toronto Blue Jays. The Royals were shut out and saw only a total of 2 runs in each of their first 2 games as their offense sputtered out of the gate. On Sunday, they got just a bit of offense momentum and it turned into an 11-run total with the Twins. Point being, it won't take much here. The Blue Jays have had 2 of their first 3 games go well over, and they have averaged 6 runs a game by themselves thus far. Kansas City usually puts up a couple of runs whenever they see Barrios, and with it being his first start and all, expect some early innings rust. Same for Singer, who has seen his last 4 Monday starts go over. I wouldn't expect this one to get fully out of control, but I like this game to see an ample number of runs scored. Take the over. Atlanta Braves vs St. Louis Cardinals. Atlanta has plenty of stars in their own right, so I'm expecting them to get to Jake Woodford for a few runs in this one. Furthermore, the Cardinals' bullpen has been a wreck to start the year. They're just 23rd in bullpen ERA, 4.61, and 24th in WHIP, 1.61. I'll ride with the tried and true Morton over the inexperienced starter and unreliable bullpen. Our team pick is Atlanta Braves money line. I'm also going to take the under in this Monday evening National League clash. I already touched on Morton's respectable numbers above, so I want to bring up the bullpen next. The Braves enter with the 2nd-ranked arm barn in terms of ERA, 1.50, and their 5th overall in WHIP, 0.83. Being that they lost on Sunday, Atlanta didn't have to turn to any of the big guns like AJ Minter or Colin McHugh. Look for Morton to hold down the St. Louis offense while the bullpen shuts the door late. Interestingly, according to Fangraphs, Atlanta was the preseason favorite to have the best bullpen in the MLB. St. Louis ranked 12th on the same list, so it easily could be some early season jitters that caused them to flounder in the opening series. That, and the fact that they were tasked with taking on an elite Toronto offense. While Atlanta is far from a rollover team offensively, maybe the Cardinals' pitching staff can bounce back as well. If they're able to contribute, we should see this game stay under with ease. Our total pick is under 8 runs. Detroit Tigers vs Houston Astros. When looking at the team ERA in the very early portion of the season, there is a huge difference as Houston is 14th with a 4.00 ERA, while Detroit is 28th with a 7.88 team ERA. Detroit could not figure out how to get going offensively against Tampa Bay, and Houston is similarly built with incredible pitching for all 9 innings. Detroit is going to be a tough team to expect much out of, and this will be interesting to see. Hunter Brown is one of the best young pitchers and should do incredibly well. Houston has won 20 of their last 27 games against Detroit, so go with them to cover the run line as well. Our team pick is Houston Astros minus 1.5 runs. Both teams have been struggling to score as Detroit has scored 3 runs in their 3 games against the Rays, and they are going to need to figure things out against one of the best teams in the sport. Hunter Brown is expected to be a force and looked filthy when he was pitching as a September call-up a year ago. Matthew Boyd also has done well when he is healthy, so he should be able to limit the bats for the Astros. The under has hit in the previous 4 games against each other inside of Minute Maid Park, so go with under 8.5 runs here. Arizona Diamondbacks vs San Diego Padres. The Arizona Diamondbacks are going to be a competitive squad this year. Diamondback starter Ryan Nelson was outstanding in his first big league action last year, limiting his opponents to only 4 runs, 3 earned, in 18.1 innings, equating to a sparkling 1.47 ERA and a 0.82 whip. Moreover, 2 of those outings were against the Padres, conceding 3 runs in 12.1 innings against the rivals. Furthermore, Padres starter Ryan Weathers has struggled in his limited big league career. He has posted a 5.49 ERA and a 1.43 whip in 98.1 career major league innings. Arizona was able to win 2 of 4 at Dodger Stadium on the weekend, and I expect a victory in this one. Our team pick is Arizona Diamondbacks. Building off of that, I'm definitely locking in the over in San Diego Monday night. Weathers has been horrible in his young professional career, posting an ERA of 5.49 and whip of 1.43. If he gets into trouble, the Padres will have to turn to a middle-of-the-pack bullpen that's currently 16th in ERA, 3.09, and 19th in whip, 1.37. Now, on the flip side, Arizona will go with Ryan Nelson in the opening game. The right-hander has actually faced the Padres in 2 of his 3 career starts. He hurled a 7.0 inning scoreless gem against them in his debut. However, they got to him 13 days later, plating 4 runs, 3 earned, over 5.1 innings of work. In my mind, I see the Diamondbacks setting the pace in this game, which will force the excellent bats of the Friars to come alive. I'm expecting this game to reach double digits in runs scored. Our team pick is over 8 runs. Cleveland Guardians vs the Guardians head into Oakland after taking 3 out of 4 games against a Seattle team that is a favorite to make the playoffs this year as well. Last season, the Guardians went 5-1 against Oakland overall and won all 3 games on the road. Cleveland has allowed just 9 runs in the 4 games thus far, while scoring 17. The Athletics have scored just 3 runs total with a lineup that lacks any major pop, particularly after dealing the team's top RBI guy Sean Murphy. Plesac, a pitcher that keeps the ball in play, will benefit from the bigger dimensions of Oakland Stadium and will get more than enough support from the Guardians lineup. Take the Guardians money line. I'll take the under until these teams start to figure it out offensively. Both Cleveland and Oakland rank near the bottom of the MLB in most major offensive statistics. They've only combined for 4 home runs this season, and the Athletics aren't even batting .200. The under has hit in 2 out of Oakland's 3 games so far this season. It seems like that's going to be a common theme for them this season. I like Cleveland's offense, but I'm weary of them coming out flat after playing extra innings of a travel day yesterday. Give me the under 7.5 runs.